Welcome to Ready, Set, Real Estate, where we will help empower and educate you on many different aspects of real estate, finance, and investing. Each week, we will expand your knowledge and uncover hidden truths. We will break down real-world scenarios and study actual how-to strategies. Anyone can buy real estate, but together we'll ensure you make smart real estate investment decisions. Now, here's your host, award-winning author, international speaker, and real estate educator, Lisa Gillett.
Happy Wednesday, beautiful people, wherever you are on this fantastic planet. It is still fantastic. Say hi, say hello, drop a comment down below wherever you are. I have missed you. Listen, I've been studying. I had an exam last week, so there was no way I was going to come on. The exam was Thursday. It's part 1 of 3 exams that I am working on. You know, future attorney here for those of you who've been listening and paying attention. So I'm excited. I went ahead and got a head start is what I'm doing. I got a head start. Got one more year of law school, and then I'll be, I want to say then I'll be preparing for the bar. I should be preparing now. All right, we've got a great show today. So the reality is we'll be talking about death in real estate. Most of you will be like, Lisa, why are you always talking about that? Because I tend to deal with the probates and the trusts, and that's the hard reality of life with the show, right? So episode 219, buying a home with a dark past. Buying a home with a dark past. Make sure you say hi, hello. Press 1 lets me know you're here. Press 2 lets me know you shared it. 1 lets me know you're here. 2 lets me know you shared it. This is how you get this free game, right? So silent modes everywhere. I've got all my phones on. We are on the eve also of closing one of our deals. So like today, if I've ever shared with you, like we'll record. So we're in the middle of just on standby right now. Let me check any emails. Okay, no emails. We haven't recorded yet. All right. So for those of you who are new to me, my name's Lisa Gillett, also known as Super Agent. I am broker owner of Devenio Estates. We've got a boutique firm here in Southern California, been in the business. Gosh, this is like year 17. It's been up and down, but because there's so much you constantly learn in this business, I love it. If you love learning, this is one of the places to be. Yes, even with the rising interest rates market, this will be interesting because this will be one of the first, I'll be in that first, for me, this is my first season of watching these rates do what they're doing. When I got in the business, we had adjustable rates. We were at like 6%. And then we had ARMs, adjustable rate mortgages. And then the market tanked. And then we had, now we had these 2.99, 3% rates. We had pandemic boom. And now we're seeing this adjustment happening over this period of time, across the country. I wonder what international real estate has been like. If any of you are on or can catch me on the live, my international audience, because this show is broadcast internationally. We are available on radio, podcasts, everywhere, which means we've got a listening audience in Germany, Italy. Oh my gosh, I forget what part in Africa. I mean, we've got some folks out in Africa, Canada. I can go on. I don't have it in front of me, but shout out to all of you who are tuning in, connecting, and showing us your continued love and support. So thank you for that. Also, my background in terms of experience, pricing strategy advisor. I'm just going to read off my designations in experience: short sales and foreclosure certified. And I do hold a senior real estate specialist designation. And what else? I think I've covered it. I'm feeling really relaxed, you all, because I had a tough day on Monday. Everyone have a tough day. It's been a long time since I had a day where everything was like hitting you, just pounding, just coming at you, right? Boo, 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 boo. That was Monday. So Tuesday was manageable. Today, I was like, I need to do the show. I need to come on. I need to get some love, give some love. So I'm here for this. This is what I'm here for. All right. So we are going to do classroom style. So classroom style, I'm preparing my slides. Oops, totally closed out that window. It's not what I want to do. We'll do classroom style today. Definitely want to say thank you to our sponsor. We have not, outside of the show, we haven't had our active classes because of my schedule, because of study, because of school. But you'll love me even more for it. You'll appreciate me even more for it down the line. So bear with me as I continue to increase my knowledge, my education, my experience. I'm still here for you, right? And that's what I say. If I don't do the live workshops or classes, you've got over 200 plus episodes on real estate that you can tune in, get caught up, and learn. So, all right. I also want to share. Because I did meet some young folks, some 20-year-olds. They were lifeguards at the local pool where we go, and they saw the visor Ready Set Real Estate, and they're like, oh, you're in real estate. Started a conversation. One of the young men was interested in getting into commercial real estate, which reminded me. So I do want to remind you all, if you have not already, when I get ready to open up the class again, definitely check out laSuperAgent.com. LASuperAgent.com. Let me pull it up here real quick. So there is a section on here that you can sign up. It's where I want you to go. Sign up. So when you go to LASuperAgent.com, shout out to those of you who are tuning in on ERGJ Enterprises. That's my brother Everett Jefferson doing amazing things. LASuperAgent.com. When you go here, you'll go to this landing page. Got ebooks, podcasts, classes. So you want to go here to the 2023 real estate class. When you click that link, it'll take you here, right? It'll take you here, and it'll have the real estate community workshops. It'll have a blurb. So I want you to get on here. Name, email, and phone number. And if you have any real estate topics you'd like to learn more about. So if you haven't done this already, get you on our mailer so that I can send you the email. And that's usually the time I'm sending you stuff. I'm not into spamming. I'm not into constantly sending out emails. But when we do have something coming, I want you to know that it's something of value, and that way you can keep us on, keep us on your subscription, keep us subscribed. So make sure you check that out. So LASuperAgent.com. I'm going to go here. This is where it is. Of course, for those of you who have reached out or want to refer someone to me, you can also send them here as well. LASuperAgent.com. Need to sell or buy. Complete a client intake form. That helps kind of narrow down the questions and the information that we need. If you want to submit a question to be answered on the live show, there's a section for that here. Check that out. If you need to schedule a creative consultation, all right, creative consultations. We have been doing it at $525. I'm happy to do, if you just mention that you heard me on the show, say that I will be offering it to you at $475. Say, hey, you said on the show you'd offer the creative consult at $475. Then I will honor that, but it's usually $525. And it's really fun. It gets you jump started. I pour into you, and I'm here for you as much as you need me to be. All right. So we can do that as well. And then, of course, links to the live shows and whatnot. And of course, our Real Estate 100 book series. Subscribe to my mailing list for updates. And then, of course, for those of you who want to be authors, there is a course, 4 Simple Steps to Self-Publishing. And agents, if you want to be a referral partner or join our firm, become a success partner. And of course, more on the merchandise and our bookstore. Okay, so that's our LASuperAgent.com landing page. Wanted to share that for you all. What else? I think that's it. Okay, so when I come back, we're going to do classroom style. Have your pen, paper, pad, pencil ready to go. We are on episode 218, right? So we'll be right back after this sponsor break.
Do you have properties that need to be maintained? For professional services that guarantee your property will stay safe and secure, Omnis Property is the team you want by your side. As a company, we pride ourselves on our best-in-class professionals, equipped with the latest technology for all your end-to-end property preservation needs. That means that from start to finish, our expert team can handle everything from accurate assessments to preservation projects of all sizes. Save money and time by working with leading experts that understand your needs and are committed to premier service. Get started today by contacting us for your project estimate. Visit www.omnispreservation.com or call 310-957-9132.
All right. Thank you to Omnis Property Solutions, our property preservation company. Definitely reach out to them if you need a clean out. You've got junk cars, you're trying to put a property back on the market, or you're trying to prepare it for the market. Great resource, and it's an added value. Added value. All right. Definitely added value. All right, here we are. Of course, let me give disclaimers for the show. This information provided on this show should not be considered legal or tax advice. Please seek legal and tax advice from those reputable licensed professionals. Reputable licensed professionals. I just had this moment as I'm thinking about reputable licensed professionals, because as I'm doing this crossover into the legal industry, I'm reading all the headlines about all these licensed attorneys who are, they're the bar suspending their license, revoking their license. They're, facing indictment and criminal charges for the things that they're doing. It's like a friend of mine and I were just having this conversation. You work so hard to get these licenses, and then you just blow it. I mean, money is something. I mean, sheesh. But in any case, it's none of my business. None of my business. Ew. I actually want to edit that because that is going to bother me. So let me breathe. Boom. And let's run it back. Yeah. My husband be like, oh yeah, you are anal. In fact, you are anal. Yeah, I can be a stickler for perfection. Just a little bit. All right, buying a home with a dark past. So I thought about this because when you're purchasing property, when you're buying real estate, there is such a thing as disclosures, right? California, or most states for that fact, there are legal requirements when it comes to seller disclosures. But I thought it'd be interesting, especially given that I'm reading this month, August 13th through the 16th. What day is today? The 16th. Looks like I was reading the Asian folklores, particular Japanese, who celebrate the time of ghosts, right? So ghosts, they share folklore. And I just had this thought that it'd be timely to talk about this, especially when you're dealing with various demographics, ethnicities, cultures, religion, in terms of buying and selling real estate. And it'd be important to be sensitive to how those cultures may connect or identify when someone passes away in the property. So specifically, when we say buying a home with a dark past, my focus is on a death in the property. And when you are to disclose, what are you to disclose? And also, you've got to make sure that you're protecting the causes or reasons for death for that particular person. All right. So let's jump right in. One of the first things that we've noticed I'm doing this as pros and cons. So pros, we'll kick off with pros. That's the slide that I missed, but it's okay. So I'll kick off with pros. I'm going to do it right here. I'm going to use the show. So pros to buying a house with a dark past. Pros. Here we go. Shout out to those of you who are tuning in on our YouTube live and connecting with us on Nextdoor. Good seeing you. So, pros to buying a house with a dark past. So, of course, you can imagine a lower price point. So, sometimes the real estate agents and the family or the estate may be already thinking that, oh, this house could be, and we're going to talk about being stigmatized in the cons, because that becomes a pro. This con of having the stigma that someone passed away in the house ends up turning the price into a pro for a buyer. So as we see here, and in many cases, homes where the previous owner has died may be sold at a lower price than comparable properties in that same area. This could be due to stigma or superstition surrounding the property. As I was sharing with you, I was reading that this month, so August 13th, every year, the Asian culture will celebrate a period where they talk about ghosts, and they are putting out food for the ghosts so that they can almost bribe their way. And the folklore says, or the saying says, or the story goes, right? The story goes that the ghosts who have who have unfinished business, right? These are spirits turned ghosts who have unfinished, people who have passed away, who have unfinished business, and or who were tragically killed, will come back during this time, and they will walk the earths. And so those uh, who memorialize or honor them during this period as they are walking through earth, they will put out food for them. They will put out, the drinks. And this is an effort to, quote unquote, as I was reading, bribe the ghosts as they are making their way through, crossing over from, quote unquote, the underworld onto earth. So that's what made me think about this show topic in terms of buying a house with a dark past, is because most people will stay away from properties where someone's passed away. What about you? Would you still buy a house where the owner or someone who lived in the property passed away or transitioned, uh, during that their time there? Would you be buying the house? I know I've said facetiously, I have, and it's completely not wanting to be insensitive, but I have said facetiously, just burn some sage and get it blessed. And in fact, I have a client who I was just speaking with, and this might be also common with Catholics or Catholicism, that I've had a couple clients say they are calling on to their preacher or the priest, right? They'll call on to the priest to come and bless the house, come and cleanse the house for these purposes, right? So it's very interesting how it's an unspoken, like people have their own ideas and how they treat this process of buying a house with a dark past, meaning when someone's passed away, it's unspoken unless you create a safe space for people to talk about it. I know I do. I do ask my clients and say, how do you feel, especially on initial consultation? I don't want to take you to a house that I know you may be dissuaded from buying after learning that the owner, someone who lived in the house, passed away, or maybe not even lived in the house, but there was some type of incident that resulted in a death in the house. What are your thoughts? All right, let's move on. Secondary pro, opportunity for renovation. Definitely, you'll come across properties where it will be dated or there's something going on. And if we're talking about clients who have just aged in place, meaning they bought that house many years, 40, 50, 60 years, and that was their primary residence. Similar to, who's that? Warren Buffett. He's been in he bought that house when he was 25, 26, and he's still in the same home. Age in place. He may age in place and pass away in that house. How do you feel about buying Warren Buffett's home? I'm not killing off Warren Buffett, by the way, but his example came to mind, or top of mind, because I know he's one of those folks who has been living in his house since, what is that? He's now in his Is he now in his 70s, 80s? So that's easily, wow, at least 50 years. At least 50 years. So, depending on the condition of the home, buying a property where the previous owner has died may present an opportunity to renovate and customize the space to your liking. So that's a pro. That works out for you if you're wanting to put in the work, sweat equity. So not only do you get the lower price, but also you've got a project. And if you're a DIY person, do it yourself, then this works out, right? DIY. Here's the other one, the historical significance of that property. There definitely could be historical significance since it has been, right? Since it has been purchased from someone who may have aged in place, bought long time ago, and that person passes away. So it says, depending on the age of the property, this is our third pro to buying a house with a dark past, is that depending on the age of the property and the circumstances surrounding the previous owner's death, the home may have historical significance or be of interest to certain buyers. I remember we were looking out of area, and I really, I don't know if this is a California thing, because it may not be, because not everyone cares about craftsmen, but I love wraparound porches. I just enjoy craftsman style homes. Aside from red bricks, that is common, like in Texas. When I went and traveled to Texas, I went to Humboldt, Texas, and I just was like, oh, red brick. So those are my things. I don't think I've ever described what type of house I'm drawn to. But in terms of architect, I like the craftsman. I like the wraparound porch, because for me, like, that's my dream. I've got like this big, right, this big vision in terms of what I'm building, with just this cool wraparound porch that I get to sit out and read and nap and just enjoy the brisk air. Yeah. So that's my thing. So that could be a pro for some of you, that depending on the age and the circumstances that the surrounding the owner's death, that it becomes historical significance. I recall selling a property, our office, or I should say, our office had the listing where Ike and Tina Turner once occupied. It was their home. I think the ownership we had the ownership after, well, yeah, because the bank ended up taking over. So it was like two owners after they had purchased or had it. And that has historical significance, right? And she passed away this year. So, oh yeah. So there's an example there for you. All right, let's jump into cons. Let's jump into the cons. In terms of buying a house with emotional baggage, I mean, cons to buying not with a dark park. Dark past. All right. So our cons, emotional baggage, right? Coming with that emotional baggage. I'll get into that. Stigmatized property and legal issues. In summary, let's jump into emotional baggage. For some buyers, the idea of living in a home where someone has passed away can be emotionally difficult to handle. Again, create that safe space. If you are an agent and or broker, real estate professional, create that safe space for your client to openly discuss how they feel about purchasing a property where someone has passed away in that home. It can be difficult for some people. They won't be able to get past that. So this may be especially true if the death was recent or particularly traumatic. I oftentimes get asked that question. If agents will say, was it natural? Was it violent? Was it nonviolent? Those questions. It's like, teetering along those fine lines of disclosure. The second thing is stigmatized, right? That property becomes stigmatized. In some cases, homes where the previous owner has died may be considered a stigmatized property, which means that the property may be harder to sell in the future due to the perceived negative history associated with it. And it just comes with that thought and feeling now that is attached to it that could drastically affect the price. So you see how the stigmatization of a property where someone has passed away, has some dark past, as a con becomes now a buyer's pro because there's a lower price. Now there's a trade-off for moving forward on purchasing that property with that stigmatization on it or associated with it. And the last one, legal issues. So depending on the state and local laws I shared in California, we do have those disclosures that are required. We are required to disclose if there was a death in a property within the last 3 years. What is protected is we are not allowed to disclose if that owner has passed away from AIDS. We're not allowed to disclose that. We are required to keep that confidential. So there are legal requirements for disclosing deaths that occurred in the home to potential buyers. And this could potentially complicate the buying process. So we usually put it in the remarks, right? Owner passed away in the property. You want to just give that person heads up. And that way that agent can communicate to their buyer up front that, hey, someone's passed away in this property. How do you feel about that? Do you want to go still look at it? Do you want to consider still moving forward? Because even if you don't disclose it up front as an agent or in the agent remarks section of that property description, it will come up during the disclosure. So seller's disclosures, and in particular, if you're using our standardized contracts that are prepared by the California Association of Realtors, or I would say National Association of Realtors across the board, if you're using these standardized, pre-printed contracts, it has language in there that requires disclosure, that requires seller's disclosure, even when you think they are exempt. There are certain things that are still required to be disclosed. All right. Okay. I love it. Short, sweet, and simple today. If you have any questions, be sure to email me at lisa@lasuperagent.com. I'll go ahead and give you my textable number. You can call me as well, 323-488-3265. If you or someone you know is going through something similar and they could benefit from this information, make sure you share that information. Sharing is caring. Listen up. I missed you all last week. Thank you for tuning in this week. I'll see you next week on another information-packed episode on Ready, Set, Real Estate. We'll see you next week. Have a great, powerful, and productive week, y'all. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Ready, Set, Real Estate podcast with Lisa Gillett, the LA Super Agent. Please like, subscribe, and share LA Super Agent everywhere on your favorite podcast platform.